What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/ChoosingBeggars. This story's called, That Time My Coworker Lost His Faith in Customers. I guess to start up, I should mention the business I'm in. We are a small business in Florida that maintains generators for large corporations or buildings, like airports or hospitals. After Hurricane Irma, there was a rule in place saying that nursing homes, medical care facilities, have to have a working generator at all times. This opened an onslaught of the stingiest, rudest, and most bitter customers we've had so far. A lot of these facilities love to cut corners and save a couple of bucks in ways that may not necessarily be morally acceptable or quite legal, and don't like that they are now required to pay extra money in order to keep their clients alive and healthy. This is the story of one such guy, whom I will call Richard Face. Richard Face had to get his facility's generator fixed after a failed inspection. I think he knew it was broken, he just didn't want to get it fixed until he was told to, and called us up. He got a hold of my supervisor, and since we are the only two people in our department, we tend to put calls on speaker. I was next to him for this part and heard everything. They figured out what generator he had, an outdated piece of crap that just barely met state standards, and was about as old as I am, and my supervisor promised to send him the quote via email. He made it up based on our computer's prices and sent it out. Now, my supervisor likes to try to save the customer money where he can, and after checking our manufacturer's website, he figured he'd be able to buy it cheaper on eBay. Something to note, we buy our parts at cost, and even after our markup, we still sell these parts significantly cheaper than retail price. Sometimes we can get older parts cheaper on Amazon or eBay, but this is a fairly rare occurrence. He told me to call the customer to tell him that we'd be able to knock $300 off the price. Hi, this is OP from General Generator Company. Can I speak to Richard Face?
This is him. What do you need?
Well, I just wanted to let you know that we were able to find this part for cheaper. Your original total was going to be $2,100, but now I can send you a new invoice for $1,800. Is your default email okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you so much.
So, I remake the invoice for $1,800, send it to him, and wait for him to send it back, signed, so we can schedule the work. Except he doesn't. We don't hear back from him for a week. Then he gets transferred back to me. Hi, this is OP from Generic Generator Company. How can I help you?
Hi, OP. This is Richard Face. I received an $1,800 invoice from you, but your boss called and said it would be $700. I just need you to fix it so I can sign it and send it to you.
Oh, actually, that was me. After pulling up your accounts, I see that we were able to find a cheaper part for you. But the total is still going to be $1,800. Would you like me to resend the itemized invoice so you can see exactly what you're paying for?
No, supervisor was actually the one who called me. I just need you to honor what he said and change it for me.
Now, keep in mind, this call was on speaker, and supervisor is at the desk directly next to mine. I make eye contact with him, and he shakes his head, obviously annoyed. You know what, sir? Let me transfer you to him. So I put him on hold for 10 seconds, then take him off since my supervisor can hear him fine on my phone anyway. Basically, this dude starts getting increasingly aggressive while he tells my supervisor that he was told it would be $700, and he wouldn't pay a cent more. My supervisor explains how the rest of the parts alone cost more than that, and he also needs to pay for our technician to install the damn things. Richard Face absolutely loses his crap about how he could buy the parts himself and look up a YouTube tutorial to install it. Yeah, right. And supervisor tells him that under no circumstances will he be lowering the price further. So Richard Face hangs up. The guy calls back a week later saying he'll pay the $1,800. But surprise, surprise, the parts on eBay is no longer there. Have fun paying full price, dookie shoot. Okay, so I don't agree that guy is a choosing beggar. It's more of just being a jerk and trying to cheat and lie to a business that tried to do you a solid. It's still really bad, just the placement's kinda wrong. The guy's a jerk. This story's called $5 per picture. You guys are buttholes. We run a motorsports photography business, shooting mostly tourists from the roadside who visit a fairly well-known motorcycle and driving enthusiast road near where I live, Tail of the Dragon on the North Carolina-Tennessee border, USA. We have been doing this full-time for over 18 years, with a team of several photographers who also shoot full-time or part-time for us. Our work has been featured in dozens of magazines. We have been on Discovery Channel, History Channel, Travel Channel, PBS, Weather Channel, etc. Point being, we are quite well established and could be charging pretty much whatever we want for our photos. And we still charge just $5 per digital image. Same as when I started back in 2001. It's tough work, sitting outside all day in the elements, bugs, shooting sometimes tens of thousands of photos a day, and a lot more complicated back end than most people realize to make it as streamlined for the customer as possible. Most customers are very grateful for the service and the price, and rarely do we get anyone even trying to haggle over it, despite processing thousands of orders a year. But this one guy, about a year ago, took it to a level we just couldn't let slide. He places an order for 6 digital images. Then, in the comments for the order, he writes, "I'm gonna purchase that, but you are a dab ripoff. $5 per picture? You guys are buttholes. They aren't even worth that. I just want high quality photos just like they are, without the words. When do I get the downloads?" The words he's referring to is the watermark over the photos in the online store. Now, my wife fills most orders, and she is pretty sensitive to criticism already, especially of our business. So, needless to say, she came to me very upset over this comment. We made the decision right then that we did not need this butthole's business, so we sent the following response. "Hi XXXX. Due to the offensive language and comments left with the order, we are exercising our right to refuse service. We have canceled and refunded your order, removed all photos of you from our online store, and also deleted all of your photos from our storage racks. Have a wonderful day." Immediately after sending, it bounces back with a failure message saying, "This user does not have an account at this domain." Shocker. He entered his email address incorrectly when he ordered. There was no other means of contacting him at this point, as no phone number was given on the order. So we chuckle at his stupidity and wait for him to figure it out. A few days pass, and we get this train wreck. Subject: "Where's my freaking downloads that I paid for? Where's my freaking downloads, buttholes? I gave you my credit card information and pay you over a week ago, and I still have no downloads, buttholes. I'm about to cancel my credit card payment. I did not get another email after I paid you, you freaking con artists." So we replied to the now correct address, "Mr. XXXX. The language you have used repeatedly is unacceptable. We tried to contact you the day the order was placed, but it bounced due to an incorrect email address you entered. To let you know that your order has been canceled and refunded. Your photos have been removed from our online store and deleted from our storage racks. The money is probably already back in your account by now. We do not wish to do business with you. See the original email below. Previous email pasted." His reply: "You buttholes, I did not want the order canceled. I just think you are charging too much, but I still want my photos." Final reply from us to him: "Mr. XXXX. We are now blocking your email. You will be missed. Nobody." At which point, we blocked him and never heard back, of course. And that, my friends, is the story of the worst customer we've had in 18 years of business. Have a wonderful day. First off, I'd like to say that good job on having a successful business that's run by just you and your wife. It's always nice to see small businesses succeed, so yeah. Anyways, yes, if you want something cheaper, it's probably a good idea to ask politely, because they might help you. Otherwise, this is what happens. This story's called, "We were kinda hoping you would do it for free." I have a few stories like this, but this is one that still sticks with me. For context, I work professionally as a massage therapist. I am licensed and have been doing massage for 5 years now. I work at a small, local day spa in my hometown and have a rather large following in regards to my clientele base. Every now and again, we'll have other businesses, small or big, that'll contact us and ask us to provide our services for their events or social gatherings. These events will usually require us to have at least 2 therapists, including me, on site, and also to bring our own supplies, which we don't mind doing since they only expect us to do basic chair massages for 10 minutes per person. Not too bad, especially for about 2 to 3 hours. And they do pay us afterward. One day, I get a call from a local elementary school in another town a little over half an hour away from mine. The woman on the phone explains how it would be Teacher Appreciation Week the following week, and they were wanting us to come down to provide 10-minute chair massages for all of the teachers. I told her we wouldn't mind doing that, since we get calls from others to do similar things all the time, and what she was asking didn't sound too far off from the norm for us. Then came the choosing beggaring. Okay, so we've got all the info we need. Now, how much would you be willing to pay? Our normal rates for event services is usually $1 a minute, but we can alter the rate if need be, since there'll only be 2 of us. We didn't think we needed to pay. Yes, ma'am. We normally have a pay rate set up whenever we get called to participate at events like this. Like I said, it would be $1 a minute, and since there'll be 2 of us and the event is 2 hours, that would come up to $240 total, but like I said, we can adjust the price if that's too much. Would $100 be better? Well, the thing is, we were kinda hoping you would do it for free, since it is Teacher Appreciation Week and all. I was fighting with myself to keep a straight face the whole time while I was still on the phone, especially after hearing the insane logic of this woman. She seriously wants us to make time out of our schedule away from the shop, drive 30 to 45 minutes to their location, do 2 hours worth of massages for their employees for free? I completely understand that this whole thing was for a good cause, and I totally agree with the premise. Especially with all the crap that's been happening with teachers not getting fair pay for their work. But here's the thing. In our line of work, or at least at our business, we are considered independent contractors, meaning we don't get paid until we get booked with an appointment, and only after that client pays do we get a cut of that pay. We don't get paid hourly like most employees do. We make commission. So if it's a slow day at the shop and no clients come in, no pay for us. It sucks, but that's how it is. If we were to come out to the school and give massages to the employees for no pay, we would be risking potential clients at our business who actually would pay us. Not to mention the fact that we're having to use our own money and gas to get to this event. I simply told her that we couldn't come down there for free. We had to get some sort of compensation, especially since they contacted us about participating in this event. I was as polite as I could be, not trying to sound mean or abrasive. She replied by saying, "Let me talk with my supervisor and see what she wants to do," before hanging up. About 10 minutes later, she calls back. "Unfortunately, that's not gonna work for us. We were really hoping you would do this for free. Thank you for your time." And that was the last that I heard from them. This story's called, "I waited until the very last day to reply to a lawsuit. So you need to help me now." As a third-year law school student, I work at a legal clinic that provides free legal services for clients who are unable to afford an attorney. As a zero-cost clinic operating solely from the budget provided by our law school, we are very limited in what we can do, and rely on students such as myself to help facilitate services. Notably, we can provide legal advice if the issue isn't too complicated, help look at or fill documents that aren't too extensive, and or even schedule appointments with volunteer attorneys who provide consultation for free. There is only one supervising attorney at the clinic. In comes Miss Choosing Beggar, who has a very complicated legal issue. She tried to sue someone, and her complaint was demurred, aka your complaint has no legal basis. A big part of why her lawsuit failed was because she failed to respond to the demurrer within the time limit. There is a way to possibly get around this by filing a motion to reconsider. You have 10 days to get this motion to reconsider filed. Since I was busy with a client, one of the other law students, who was a less experienced second-year student, was helping her. Our supervising attorney was also busy. While I was helping the other clients, I heard the other student struggling a little. He was waiting for our supervising attorney because he didn't know how to proceed. I saw the choosing beggar becoming visibly agitated, and I told our supervising attorney I could handle the work he was doing so he could switch to the choosing beggar, because that choosing beggar seemed to be getting very angry. Apparently, this choosing beggar had come into the clinic to get help drafting her entire motion to reconsider in 30 minutes, so that she could go back to the courthouse to get it filed. Since today was the last day she could file the motion, we informed her that this kind of work requires a careful study of her case, with all the legal issues surrounding it. We told her that by half-assing a legal motion in half an hour, that would definitely get rejected, would subject us to serious malpractice. When asked about why she didn't have an attorney look at her case before this, she told us that she had rejected multiple attorneys because they wanted to charge her too much, and that we needed to fill this out right now. When we told her that the clinic closed in about 30 minutes, she said she would wait afterwards as long as it took to finish. Any attempts to tell her we couldn't do it fell on deaf ears. She then pulled out her phone to film us and began yelling in the elementary school library. We have the clinic as a free service for elementary school parents, but see anyone who comes in. She said everyone in the clinic would be posted on YouTube, and asked for the supervising attorney's supervisor. Hint, he's the supervisor. She said she was appalled at the terrible service and loudly declared that she was a taxpayer and that this is our taxpayer dollars at work. You know, the free legal clinic she didn't pay for that is completely funded by a privately owned law school which receives zero public funding. She eventually stormed out of the clinic, declaring she would be reporting everyone except for the Asian attorney, me, because I was the one who had noticed she was angry and motioned for our supervising attorney to help. To this day, our supervising attorney has not yet received the bar complaint we've been joking that he would get. And I wonder whether that motion was ever filed, or if she simply chose to go home and go back to being lazy. I mean, she obviously must not have cared that much if she waited that long to get it filed, but don't put that on anyone else but yourself, lady, come on. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.